Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another new project. Let's get down to the desk and get a look. So here we are, guys. Yeah, so it's the C-47 Skytrain by Italeri. Sorry, should I say? 172 scale. Love this aircraft. So iconic. Sure everybody knows it from the D-Day landings in 44. Um, I think the box art might have been a bit better, but it's very nice. Do like it all the same. I've never built a Italeri or Italieri or whatever way you want to pronounce it kit before, so this should be fun. Don't know what that is. That what's that shiny thing there? Is that the license maybe? Don't know. Anyway, so one long end we've got a wee bit of bump about the aircraft in different languages, and then we've got your decals, illustration of what you're getting. Kit number is 127. On the one short end, we've got a bit more gump, and it's telling us it's 27.2 centimeters long. 27 centimeters. 30 centimeters, so that's near a foot, near 12 inches. That's big enough, isn't it? And then on this other long end, so we've got our two options, the British or the US versions of it. Not sure which one I'll do. They've both got the same color, just different decals, I think. Plus 14 more safety information. Very good. And then there's some more information there. I take it there's safety things. Made in Italy. La la la. Very good. And then on this end, we've got same again, more information. Okay, so let's pop the box open. Uh, Put that over here. Okay, so we've got basically one bag of sprues, instructions, and I bought a set of masks for it. Yeah, so let me just pop that over there for the time being. So I think Airfix do the same thing. They put everything in one bag and then they put the clear parts separate. Doesn't seem to be much to this kit. Um, but I think I'd like to now. I'm gonna have to flip this open. Where's my knife? Doesn't seem to be one of those plastic resealable ones, so bear with me here, guys, as long as I don't stab myself. Pop that. It should slip out. Oh, no wrestling. So that's the clear part. So look at them in a wee bit. So we've got two sprues, and I'm not sure which is A or B, even if they are A or B. No. Anyway, so let's look at them. So, so we've got this in this sort of dark earth type of color. Um, and I'm just looking at the detail. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? I just feel that on my finger there. Very nice indeed. So this, I'm assuming this would be quite a quick build, although they're famous last words. So I like to do this on the channel, but I might just do it as a wee kit for me, if you like, and just build it a bit of fun, and then just do some updates for you guys. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But looks quite nice that frame. Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, put that over there. And then we've got the wings. So that was the fuselage one. Sorry guys, that was the fuselage. So now we've got the wings. Excuse me. And so all right, so that must go on the other side. That bit, yeah, that would flip there. Okay. And our wheels are two parts, and our right. Hold on. Hold what's happening here? So these are the vertical stabilizers. The stabilizers are in two parts, and the wings are in two parts. But they are bulkhead. Oh, look at that there. The texture on the bulkhead there. That's nice. Very good. Very good. And a wee bit more on there. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, very good. Very good. And then, as I said, I bought a set of masks, canopy masks. They are vital nowadays. So let's look at this. So this is our options. Option A is the US one, D8. Um, I've seen a few of these. I've seen one of these in a museum, I think, where the door was opened and you saw paratroopers coming out. It was a display. It was absolutely fantastic. I don't know where it was. I think it was in England somewhere, but it was just brilliant. Um, but so I think I think they're both the same, aren't they? So version B is the Dakota. So that's the. Oh no, sorry, I beg your pardon. So version A is the C-47A 80DL, and the version B is the Dakota Mark III. But they're the same aircraft, right? But that's the RAF version, 271 Squadron. Um, so I'm gonna try and do these stripes, these D-Day invasion stripes. They're quite cool. Just by way of a challenge for me, just to test my skills. Um, I won't be printing anything. I'll use the decals. I don't have a printer, and I don't. My skills aren't up at that level. But that's quite nice. I'm not really sure to do the British version, the RAF version, or the US version. Hmm. That's a while away yet, so I can have a think about that. But yeah, very nice indeed. Pop that over there, and then we have our instructions. What's that? Something else. Oh, that's the decals. Sorry, let's have a look at the decals. So they're inside the instructions are. So what was I say? So yeah, massive. And they look. I don't know who makes these for Italeri, whether they do themselves, choreograph or somebody else, but they're quite nice. Like, um, seem to be good colours. As I say, I'm not going to use these. Well, I'm trying not to. I'm going to try and do that myself. But they're really nice. I'll probably end up doing the US one because I just like the decals better. You got this there, and then you've got this. It looks like some sort of ship. Can't read that, but yeah, they look good. They look good. Pop that over there, and then we've got our instructions Dakota C-47 Skytrain. So, like an A, is that B5 or A5? I'm not sure what size that is. Anyway, a bit of bump on the front there, a few warnings. It's for 14 and over, so I definitely make that category. So if we flip that out, also this is one of these pull-out versions. Okay, got it. So we've got on page one here, if you like, we've got our sprue maps, more safety information. I think this is, and then okay, this is these are the color coordinates. Is that is that photo etch? I didn't see photo etch in there, did I? Don't know. Oh, that's the clear parts. No, I'll look at them in a wee minute. Actually, no, let's do that now. Um, so we've got clear parts. Okay. All right. So, gosh, they're tiny, aren't they? Well, 147, 172 scale. Yeah, pretty good. So this is the big cockpit one. That looks quite thin. Doesn't seem to be any distortion. Quite clear. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Okay. Don't have to be doing any rubbing down or pinning. It's always good. Pop them over there. Okay, so yeah, so we've looked at the sprues, all lovely, lovely. And then we've got our these are the colored cards, aren't they? They're the colored colors. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It seems Mr. Master, Model Master. Never heard of that one. And maybe that's just Itleri's own paint scheme, yeah, arranged. So let's have a quick look. I know you guys have probably built this 1,000 times, but It seems pretty straightforward. So stage one, we're doing the cockpit and the interior. Pretty straightforward by the looks of things. Probably do that XF71 interior green for the RAF one. I'm not sure what the US one would be. I can look that up for a reference. Uh, Putting all those wee bits and pieces in. Two is then we're then sticking the fuselage together. We're pretty advanced here on stage two. Put the windows in. Nice. Landing gear, stage three. I'll probably leave that off till all the painting's done. Same with the outer engine. The cowling that, leave out all the last. That's stage four. Stage five. Then we're just tidying up all the dangly bits. But I see where we have this bit of uh the glazing. God, I couldn't think of the name of it there. The glazing going on at that stage. Version A only. So we've got some wee gadget here at the top. Okay. So, and gosh, that's it. That's all the construction. And then we have the two versions here. The US one and then the RAF one, Normandy 44, June 44. Yeah, very good. Wish these were in colour. Steps the invasion spread stripes. They're even giving you dimensions for them. Oh, that's useful. So that's very good. So there you are, guys. Sorry. Here we are down at the desk. Made a start on the C-47. Um, so basically stage one here. Uh, Put together the cockpit. There's not a great lot of detail here, guys. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Bit of effect on the inside of the cabin there. Cockpit is pretty basic. There's not even a decal for the instrument panel. I suppose at the end of the day, you're not going to see very much inside the fuselage. Well, from the front end of it anyway, the cockpit quite narrow. Um, so basically, let that dry overnight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give that a prime coat of this Vallejo black, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the interior of the fuselages as well, just to get that done. And then once I do that, I'm gonna I'm gonna do a mix. The instructions call this. Let me see where it calls it. Is it a chromate? Green zinc chrome. I don't have that, and I normally done the inside of these. You've got an option. You've got a British version for the D-Day landing, or you've got the American version. I might do the American version, but the interior is both the same. So I've used this before, mixture 50-50 of this XF4 and XF5, the yellow green and the flat green, and that gives that color, that zinc chromate, I think you call it color. I used it on the Mustang last year, and it turned out quite well. So with the base color of a black, and then you can use that to spray the interior of the cabin, and right up to the cockpit. So that'll be nice. So that's the plan. And what I was going to do too is I was going to maybe um, there are not too many parts, so this is not going to be a big series of builds. I was maybe going to put the wings together here and prime them as well, while they're out and the airbrush is out, and we'll be ready to go. So anyway, let me get on with it and I'll get back to you guys. Guys, so I'm just going to give this bit of spray with this. So just do a wee test. Okay, so here we go. It's nice and light. Oh my God, I want to be flooding it now. I just did the inside of this right here. That stuff goes down really well, so it does. That's label primer. Just doing the seat there now. So I haven't done the there's two pilots going with the kit, so I'll do them separately. Actually haven't set that up yet, but I will do. It's grand. I've got everything. Uh, yeah, just let that sit for a minute. There you go, guys. Hey guys, so just welcome back to the desk. Just want to give you a wee bit of update on the Skytrain C-47. So I primed the fuselage. I just kept them on the sprues. I just thought it was easier. Um, and I give them a black primer, which was this black by Vallejo. I went down quite nicely, and then I made up a mixture of XF3 and XF4 to give that. Oh gosh, what's the name of it again? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Chrome Chromate. I can't remember. Sorry, guys, can't remember. But it's not the cockpit green that the RAF we use XF71, so it was a mixture, and I think that's turned out quite well. Maybe too much paint. I like that black to come through a wee bit more, just to show a bit more awareness. Um, so that's ready maybe for a bit of a dry brushing. As you can see, there's not much detail there for any dry brush to pick up, but we'll maybe try something just to give it a bit of a worn look. So that's that. Um, I've just I just finished off doing the seats here on in the cockpit, and unfortunately got a bit of overspray. Oops. But yeah, so this was I just used a dark green here. And if I can remember what number it was, I don't need to remember. There's it there. It's XF28. I'd actually spread, so it spread inside of the bulkheads with that chromate, um, to give it that cockpit look, and then the instructions just say to use dark green, and then I painted up the seats leather. I will do the stocks and the instrument panel. I'll try and do them black, just to give it a bit of variety. But as I've said previously, there's not a great lot of detail in there, you know. So, and notwithstanding that, that's all going to be closed up. Um, I'm gonna have this on the ground, so I'm not gonna put pilots in it, but I might just keep this door open. Now I don't know whether that's a full door or it's two halves. If you see what I mean. Oh, there's it there. Aye, so yeah, so that's the door there. So can maybe put that bit in and leave that bit open so that you can actually see inside. But anyway, that's further on down the line. But so there you are, guys. That's a bit of an update. Um, I'll then start putting the cockpit or the inners into the fuselage and close it up, and then I'll get back to you. Thanks. Okay, so bit of progress, just to show you a bit of progress up on the Skytrain by Italeri 172 scale. So fuselages painted green. I don't know what's happened here, but I maybe got the mixture wrong. But I did 50-50. That's let me see. XF it's XF4 and XF5. So this is 50-50 mix. And then this was 50-50 mix, as I'd forgotten to put the door in, but something went wrong there. I'm not too sure what's happened. Um, Maybe this wasn't 50-50 mix, but anyway, so um, got the glazing in. It's popped out a couple of times. I'm just using this cement by Ammo. It's quite good stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's a plastic. You shouldn't use it with plastic. Anyway, but I've got them in now. And basically that's ready for. Well, I primed it already, but it won't do it any harm to give it another coat. So that's that side. I then popped in the cockpit and the interior. Um, I had an attempt to put the static line in there. It might be a bit thick for the scale, but anyway, it's there. Again, you can't see very much. Try to do a bit of weathering, bit of dry brushing on the interior with one of these boys. But so that's what's coming away there at the back. I might have to pop that back in again. So basically, going to put this together then. Seal that up, let it sit for 24 hours to get a good seal. Making a start on the engines. Painted these up on the back end of them, so they basically sit like that, uh, with the curling behind them, or sorry, the curling round them. So I'll get them ready. Done the wheels. Just need to paint them up. So yeah, good progress. So guys, just in the final stages of preparing for primer, um, and basically got all the major bits on. Don't know where you can see that, but this one route, you could drive a bus through it, so that's going to need some attention. And on the underside as well, this here, I don't think there's meant to be a gap of that big. Um, we can maybe put this Vallejo plastic putty that normally works well for there, but for the bigger ones, I might use this Tamiya putty. Um, the wings were difficult fit ways, but the fuselage was fine, no problems at all. Just a slight step, and I rubbed that down as you can see, and um that's all good. Um, I have to come clean. I made a massive mistake. I got masks. Well, I thought I did, but they're for the Airfix kit. Can't believe it. So they're all big. So I had to abandon that and put on some what do you call it? Neo, is it? Hold on, man. Yes. So Mr. Masking's Soul Neo. So put that on. Hadn't used that in ages, and obviously it was quite gloopy. And I even couldn't get the front windscreen in. What was that? So I tried to cut the masks, and again, it was a bit of a pain. So I just used the liquid mask. So I've just put in some sponge there, the same as there, and I need to put some under the underside here as well, so that the what is it, grey, isn't it? It's like a sky grey, no, a dark grey, or the underside of the aircraft. But yeah, pretty good flip, no step there, all really nice with the fuselage. Didn't realise how big. It's a big old boy, isn't it? Like when you for 172 scale. But there you are, guys. So the next time you'll see it, it'll be in primer, and that'll be in part two. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers. As you can see, I've primed her up. Um, basically one coat over the whole aircraft. Masked up what I needed to mask up. And I used that Mr. Surfacer 500. And thinned it. I think I thinned it about 50-50. So nice down, looks well. I might need to do a bit of filling here at the back of that vertical stabilizer. Seems to be a bit of light through that one. We touch of that Vallejo plastic putty. That should do the trick. But other than that, it's come out not too bad. There was a bit of a gap here, if you remember from the first. Filled that in with the Tamiya putty. That's quite good, that stuff. So I'm pretty pleased the way it's going out. Next stage now, I'm gonna maybe do a bit of pre-shading. And there's quite a lot of panel lines you see along the top surfaces of the wings, and then obviously on the underside. So I would normally have done that with an airbrush, quite low pressure, take a cap off and get right in close. But I might just do it with a nice thin brush, and like let's see, like XF1 or an XF 85, thin down, and just go over those lines, nice and neat, just to give it a bit of post shading. And then we'll get on to the main event. So I think I'm going to use, for the underside, I'm going to use natural metal, I think, as the darker one, and then do the sky, the XF19 as a lighter, over the panels, and then the green. Well, we've got olive green here from MRP, and then the Tamiya. I think that's 62, isn't it? So I'll maybe do the olive drab first, and then fill in the fill in some panels with the lighter green. I have these two colors here from Model R. So we've got RLM 71, which is the Dungle Gale, and then we've got this dark green. So I might do some samples, see how that turns out. But that's the plan. So let me crack on with this, guys. Cheers. Hi guys. So hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to start doing the underside of the aircraft with post shading. I've done the upper side. It's a bit rough, but I'm okay with that. Um, we're just trying to get the effect to give it some depth once we put our base coats on. So I've just made up a mixture of XF1 flat pack, and then 50-50 mix with X20A, the thinners for Tamiya. Put it in a wee jar, give it a wee mixed up, get a nice wee thin brush, and then oh, first uh, just try to do the lines of the panels like this. Um, make sure that I don't put too much paint on. Numpty. Anyway, what can you do? So basically, just follow the panel lines as best you can, and just to give that wee bit of depth. You can see it's not really accurate. My hand painting isn't up to scratch at all, but I think you get the effect that we're trying to achieve by just outlining these panel lines. So apart from that mistake, so let me crack on with this, and then I can get back to you with the final effect. Okay, guys. So I've just completed the post shading on the underside. As I said, a bit rough, but generally following the panel lines. I'll let that dry now, fully dry, and then we'll start on the undercarriage, or the underside of the aircraft, with a grey. I think it's going to be that natural grey XF53. I think I'll use that, and then lighten it down. That's the plan anyway. Okay, guys, see you in a bit. Hey guys, so just back at the desk now, and just going to do the underside of the aircraft. So we're starting off with this XF53 natural grey. I was actually going to try and use this. Uh, was it that one, or was it the other one? Sorry, dark ghost grey. Now I think this is True Life Colors, but couldn't get that open. So that was no good. So what I'm doing now is this is 50-50 mix. I don't normally mix it, Tommy. I just should put them down neat, if you like. But I just thought, because I want a sort of a light dusting, if you think, if you know what I mean, so that pre shading can come through. So here we go, just nice and light. It's not right because I don't want to spray my jumper. Oh, here we go. The airbrush moving. First coat. I'm right up. I'm right over the bottom. We're out of paint. So that's the first coat, guys. What do you reckon? I could think I could. I'm too much there. I remember doing that. I could maybe put on another light coat, and that might be that. Anyway, let me refill the paint and get back to you. Okay, so I put another bit of a coat over it. Bit of a miss there. But hey, I'm quite happy with that. Now that's my sort of vision. So I'll give this a couple of hours to dry, and then what I'll do is I'll either try this light colors, light ghost gray, and sort of go in between some of the panels to give some sort of depth to shading, like fading. Either the light ghost gray or the sky. We'll have a look first and see how that goes. There you go. Right, guys. So back at the desk here, and what I've done is you can see that on the camera. I've used this Sky XF19, and I've thinned it down really, 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 really thinly. If you can see what's left in that wee cup there. So what I'm doing, I've got my air pressure right down, and I've got really close in. And what I'm doing, hopefully this works on camera now. So what I'm doing, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I move in a wee bit. There you go. Let me see. So just slightly in between the panel lines, I'm just ever so slightly just, I don't know where you want to call it, mottling or marbling, but you see what I'm doing there? And then that'll dry up. And I think it's got a quite little nice little effect. Um, I'll just finish off this panel. This is quite a long panel here. So low pressure and just keeping the brush about a centimeter away, 10 millimeters, and then just going along the edge of the panel lines and then filling in the block. Try to stay out of the panel lines, and I think that's a nice wee effect of some fading. So I've done these panels and this panel. You say this is going to be a bit of work, um, but I think it's a nice effect. So what I'll do then, I'll do the whole on the side of the aircraft, and then I'll maybe just put a mist all over the top of it of X19, and that that should be a nice effect. Cheers, so guys. Uh, I just finished that undercarriage there on the side. I just noticed a tail wheel and a few bits and pieces to put in, but I'm really happy the way that's turned out. We had a faller, one of the stabilizers came off. No problem to pop that back in there again and give it a good glue. But I think you agree that turned out okay. What do you think, guys? I think the black the pre-shading I'd done previously is just coming up through enough, and that grey modeling type of thing is really worked out. I'm really happy with that. So I'm gonna let that dry for a while. I don't know where to varnish it or do the top side and then varnish it. I might just put a wee bit of varnish over it just to protect it. But anyway, there you go, guys. Cheers. Hi guys. So yeah, just back at the desk here now, and I've just put on the first coat of olive drab, that XF, I think it's 62, isn't it? Olive drab. And I've just suddenly realised I've made a massive blunder, and I'm sure you can all pick it out. Yes, I forgot to put the weight down for the invasion stripes. Uh, I should have done that at the priming time, but completely forgot about it. So, it's, gosh, I think I'm gonna have to do like a yellow over on the underside. The white should be sufficient for the background, you know, because that grey, it should cover that grey. But on the top here, I'm gonna have to maybe do a yellow and then the white, because that'll be the base coat before I put actual black stripes on. But completely forgot all about it. So disappointing. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that, and I'll just let that completely dry now, and then I'll get on to that, and I'll put down an XF3, I think it is. What it is, yeah, XF3, the flat yellow. I'll use that flat yellow. So measure it. Gives you quite helpful here. These instructions, they give you the actual size of the stripes. I don't know where you can see it. It says 8.5 millimeter on the tail for stripes, and then the wing, under the wing, it gives you 9.5 Asian stripes. So I'm assuming they're going to be the same. That's for the RAF version, but I'm doing the US version. Um, so tally ho, get on with that. Anyway, I just wanted to get you up to date. Anyway, thanks lots, guys. I've tried to rectify my massive blunder. So I've just taped it up there, and I've just given it a coat of yellow. Bit of overspray here. What to do? So it's not too bad actually. It's covered it quite well, that yellow. I thought the green would have come through. There's about two coats out on it. There's maybe some places where it's peeking through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that dry for a good while, and then have a look at it then, and see if maybe it needs another coat. But I may have rescued the situation to get my D-Day stripes on, painted on. But anyway, just wanted to update you guys. So very carefully set it down, Liam. There you go. All right, I'll get back to you later. Hey guys, so back at the desk, and the last time I left you, I had the yellow put on, as I'd forgot to do my stripes. So I used some white, and I run out of white. Would you believe? But I had some MRP white. I used that, and I think the pressure was too high, but I made a mess of that. But anyway, I rectified that, and I used some Vallejo. Let's see, what's it called? Oh, Vallejo Modeler. Wait, that's what I used. So that's the basis of that. So as you can see, a bit of bleed there. But do you know what? I'm really happy the way that's turned out. That's great. I just took some masks off now, just on the wings, because I'm trying to figure out um on the fuselage here. Um, I'm trying to how can I'm trying to get my stripes straight. I don't know, and I need to maybe start that again to do that. But I got the weight down. The weight's down okay, and I just need to extend it a wee bit, because I want to make it 50 millimeters, so then you can get 510s into it, and then all the stripes should be fairly even then. But I'm having difficulty wrapping masking tape around the fuselage to get a straight line. But we'll keep working at it. We'll keep working at it. We maybe need to just do a bit of overbleeds there. There's something there. Maybe need to fill that in as well. So the next time you see that, so that's basically the end of part two, guys. What I'll do is I'll give this a good old. See, there's a bit of overbleed there, or overspray there. I'll tidy that up. So what I'll do is then once I get all the stripes done, I'll give it a good gloss varnish, that GX 100, And then the next part, part three. So this is the end of part two, basically. So the next part three will be sticking on the decals, maybe a bit of weathering, and then final reveal. So thanks very much for watching. See you next time. Cheers. Bye. Nearly finished decals on the C-47 at 172 scale by Italeri. Um, and I've got the evasion stripes done, bit of bleeds here and there, but I'm going to leave that in because it looks a wee bit more authentic. Um, these bigger decals, had a bit of issue with them. I should have maybe broke them up into two, so put the D on separately to the 8. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Happy enough with it. And the same on the other side. Um, decals seem to go down quite well. I just used that Mr. Mark Settler. I think it's Mr. Mark softener by Mr. Hobby, and you can see, if you can see that one there, settled well into the wing. You see the panel lines coming through. It's still a bit shiny at the minute because uh, I had a what did I use? Gosh, yes, I used this XXL gloss by BMS. Put that on and then put the decals on. Once I finish the decals, I'm then gonna put maybe a satin or a matte varnish over it. Let that dry, and then I'll do some panel lining, maybe slightly bit of weathering, and then that'll be the C40 finished. Just to put on a few wee bits. One of these antennas snapped off, flipping nightmare. Put the landing gear in, and put my door on, and yeah, that's basically it. And then I'll put up some pictures to show the final reveal. Okay, guys. See you in a bit. Hey guys. So just a bit of an update on the progress finishing off the C-47. So I've basically done a panel line, uh, a black panel line, and I'm really happy the way that's turned out. That has turned out really well for me. Um, yeah, just drop a panel line. As you can see, maybe a bit of a stains there, that maybe too much on the brush or something, but that actually works quite well. But yeah, it's looked out nearly done there now. So what I'm going to do now is flip her over, and I'll do the same on the upper side, and that'll probably be the weathering finished. I would say maybe a bit on the exhaust. Uh, put the landing gear in. Put the door on, as I said earlier, and then put the antenna up and take a few pictures, and that'll be that. So let me crack on. Cheers, guys. So basically nearly completed the C-47, and I've had a bit of a disaster, I'm afraid to say. Um, I was taking off the masks for some of the windows, and if you can see there, that one came out. That was okay. When I was trying to put in the windscreen, it snapped in two. That one came out, and I managed to I managed to get the mask off these. It must have been when I was fixing the screens to the inside. I was just using normal glue. Any of you guys got any suggestions that might be helpful for the future? But bit disappointing. So basically, I've put the undercarriage on. I've done the panel lining, and that's turned out quite well. And that's pretty much all the weathering I'll do. I'll maybe do some exhaust marks here around the engine cowling. And then the last thing we'll do is I'll put on the antenna. I'll use this very thin stuff here. This is for 72 scale. You probably can hardly see that, it's that thin. But and then once I'll do that, I'll take a few pictures, and then that'll be the final reveal. Okay, guys. Cheers.